Okay, can I get everyone to close your eyes for like 10 seconds and try to take in the sounds, the feelings, and the emotions? Alright. Sorry if this is loud. Okay, so as you can see, the drums have a lot of emotion, and they can really change your mind and alter your mood. Everyone loves the sound of the drum, the vibrations, the deepness, the bass. The sound seems to come from within the soul. Whether it's the deep rolling of a timpani drum starting off a symphony or the exciting collaboration of hand drums, we all know how to appreciate their uniqueness. Today, I'm going to discuss with you the importance of drums. I'm going to go over items such as their history, their importance in ancient cultures, how they work, and their influences on today's music. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the history of the drum. How long have they been around? According to Joseph H. Howard, the author of Drums in the Americas, the drums have been around since the Stone Age. It is theorized that early Homo sapiens learned of a unique sound coming from hitting a tree branch whose core had rotted, like that. This became the first idiophone, which is basically an instrument that produces sound by vibrating. So, over time, these early humans learned to carve out the center of the logs, sometimes by themselves, other times they would let insects do the work for them, such as ants. And after that, they ended up putting heads, drum heads, on the drum or on the logs, like this and that. The heads were normally made of antelope, sheep, zebras. But yeah, so I'm gonna skip ahead real quick. Here, this is how a drum works, and this is how they made it become better. By hitting it right here, it creates the vibrations to move down here and then resonate on either side of the drum. And that's basically how they made the drum become good and what it is today. I brought a few pictures of them, like that. These are actually drawings that were excavated, and that's a current older day drum, but that's one that actually they dug up. It's still intact. And that was said to be found in Nigeria and it dates back to around 400 AD. Okay. The author, James Blade, the author of Percussion Instruments and Their History, says that the first percussive instruments were used as a type of magical ritual by the early nomadic people. These early drums were used primarily for pre-hunting dance rituals. Other early percussion instruments included rattles, which would consist of teeth or seeds in a skull, and they would be shaken. It's interesting to see from a chronological point of view, the first instruments that we are presented as babies were also the first instruments produced by early mankind. So, over time, the human's minds evolved and became greater, and so did the instruments. I would like to focus on one instrument, the djembe, which I just played. This originated in Western Africa, and it dates back to the first millennium AD. And as you can see, well, their drums were very symbolic and very spiritual. This one in particular is said to contain 3 spirits: that of the drumhead, that contains the spirit of the animal from which it was made, the spirit of the tree from which the shell was made, and then also the spirit of the hand or the person who crafted it. So these drums and other drums from around that time were used in ceremonial dances, used to communicate over long distances, And also, they were used in ceremonies such as passing into manhood, marriages, and funerals. The strike of the drum was a way to the gods. As time passed by, drums began to be used for other reasons. As civilization began to change in Europe, drums began to be used during battle and for royal purposes. So it makes a shift from early civilization to a more type of modern civilization. Most of the drums that we see in modern music today originate from the medieval times, which I'm going to discuss right now. According to James Holland, author of Percussion, the snare and the timpani, the kettle drum, were originally strung on horses to signal the arrival of royalty or to warn the town of a possible attack. And these two drums in particular are key to much of our music today. So, as civilization grew and expanded, the snare drum actually became one of the most important drums on the North American continent. It is said that during the United States Civil War, the drummer boy could have been one of the most important members of either side. The drummer boy was normally a boy too young to battle, so they'd give him a drum. And there's a big misconception that the drummer boy was only used to keep a cadence to the soldier's march. In fact, there were a lot of things that the drum was used for. For example, to get officers together, put a regiment at order, or even signal for the possible retreat of an army during battle. So they were a big deal. And then, since then, the drums have evolved greatly, and from a money-making point of view, they create a lot of money. According to the Music Trades magazine, drum sales reach over $500 per year. So, all music that we listen to has some form of drum or percussion in it, whether it is a hard blast beat found in the music of Slipknot, or a cool groovy beat found in an R&B song. So it's very interesting to see how drums have evolved and how much they mean to our cultures of today and the past. Whether they were used to call on the gods for an upcoming battle, or used to signal the attack on a Confederate Army's troop, the drums have been, and still are, a vital part to our lives today. I'm going to end my presentation with a cool drum solo. Oh, that's me playing the drums, huh? Alright. Hope the sound works on this. Or I can figure out.
Your volume's not on.
Over on the display or on the
by the battery.
Is it not?
Got it.
No, it's not on from the computer.
Oh. Yeah, well, having some technical difficulties. So yeah, it's a cool drum solo, nevertheless. But yeah, and that
Very cool.
concludes my speech.
Jamil, what did you think?
I thought it was well done. The opening hook was very good. It was very effective. You also had a lot of energy coming off of the hook too, so it wasn't like you did a phenomenal hook and then just left us there. You also were able to carry on the energy from the hook into your speech, which was good. I thought you did a good job. You didn't look at the paper too much. You spoke out towards us. You looked around, made it seem where the audience were involved with it also. It was a 2-point thing, I guess. And that's all I think.
All right.